next story up. So it seems that an arrest was made in the murder of Takeoff. Okay, Takeoff mama named him Kersnick Kari Ball. Okay, but like I said, there has been an arrest made. Actually, there were 2 arrests made. One of those people was considered the shooter, and that would be 33-year-old DJ Pat. Mama named him Patrick Xavier Clark. Okay, he has been charged with the murder of Takeoff. From what I've read in the comments section, DJ Pat is a popular strip club DJ in the Houston area. Some say that he does have some ties to the J. Prince family. I don't know if that is true or not. That is what the folks are saying in the comment section. Okay. And when I say the folks, I mean the many social media investigators that pretty much had this case sewn up before we even found out about DJ Pat, except they didn't have the right people. Okay. At first, when the story first came out, when Takeoff was, when he was killed, there was stories going around. There was a person who actually had posted a story saying that there was a dice game, which is true. There was a dice game. There was an argument that broke out, which is true, that Quavo was in with some other people. Takeoff was not involved in that argument, was not involved in the dice game. That part was true as well. But that person said that when the fight broke out, or when apparently somebody got hit, then somebody pulled out a gun and started shooting. That person said that he believed that one of Quavo's guys actually accidentally shot Takeoff. Okay. So that was a story that was going around for a minute. Then we got a story that Jay Prince's son, people were saying that he was the one who did it. We've heard many other people point the fingers at different people. None of the people that we have heard were the ones that ended up getting arrested. Okay. This, like I said, DJ Pat is the person that got arrested. Apparently he was there as well. Apparently he had a gun. And apparently during the melee, when all of the guns were going off, because he wasn't the only person shooting, but apparently his bullet is the one that struck Takeoff and killed him. They said that he was killed, because of the shot to a head and to his torso. So I'm assuming they did the ballistics. They figured out whose gun it was, and they arrested Clark. Apparently, Clark had purchased a ticket to go to Mexico, was making arrangements to flee the country, had a large amount of money, and when he was arrested, he was found with those items. So they believe that he is a flea risk. So when he was arrested, of course, the prosecutors were asking that there would be no bond set, that he couldn't get out of jail. However, the judge ended up setting a $2 million bond. But apparently we don't have to, as of right now anyway, it doesn't look like he will be getting out of jail, because he has said that he doesn't have any more money, that his family spent all of their money just obtaining a lawyer. Okay. But now he is trying to get a private investigator. And he has asked the court, I'm not sure if he's asked the court to lend him $5,000 or if he's asked the court to release some of his funds so that he can pay for a private investigator. I don't really know. But anyway, he said he needs $5,000 to get him a private investigator so that they can clear his name. Okay. And I don't know what the answer is on that, but I'm about pretty sure what it's going to be. Yeah, so he is the person that they have said is the person responsible for shooting and killing Takeoff. May be an accident, we don't know if it was on purpose or whatever. He is maintaining that he's innocent, that he did not shoot his gun, but they're saying, yeah, well, that's what the ballistics and things are saying. Okay, on top of him being arrested, there was also 22-year-old Cameron Joshua. He was also arrested. Now, he was arrested just because he had a gun on him, and he was not supposed to be carrying this gun on his person. He did not shoot. His bullets were not found in Takeoff or anything, but he was arrested because he had the gun, and apparently he is cooperating with the police against DJ Pat. And so, yeah, that's where that story is so far. The police are still asking. They said there were somewhere around 30 people that was there when the shooting happened. Everybody left the scene. Nobody spoke to the police. So they have got to rely on the cameras that were in the area, but they're also asking for people that were there to come forth and speak, because they cannot solve this murder if they don't have the information from the people, from the witnesses. Okay. So, but yeah, they were determined to make sure that they arrested somebody for this, and now they have got it. And of course, if you still look in the comments, people are saying that they got the wrong guy and everything. Like I said, the social media investigators, you guys. But as far as the Houston PD is concerned, it looks like they think they got the right person. So we'll see what happens with DJ Pat, you know, as this case goes on. But for now, the family can rest knowing that the person responsible, at least they think so right now, has been arrested. Next story up. I told you guys that I would give you a little break before we talked about the politics. And really, this is not politics. This is really just WISAP. A Manhattan jury found 2 of Trump's companies guilty of multiple charges of tax fraud and falsifying business records connected to a 15-year scheme to avoid paying taxes by failing to report compensation for top executives. Okay, that was a whole lot that I just said. Basically, the way that Trump's companies was running business around there is that the top executives, they were reducing their salary so that they didn't have to pay taxes on that. And then they were doing favors or paying for compensating these executives in other ways. Okay, paying for their apartments, paying for their homes, paying for their vacations, paying the tuition of their children at private schools and universities. All of these things they paid, and I guess they expensed it out, but really this is going towards the salaries of these top executives at the companies. And the Manhattan took their ass to court, found them guilty on all 17 counts. Okay. Now that they've been found guilty, the company doesn't get dismantled because they don't have the right to dismantle the company. However, they're believing that this will keep other businesses and banks from giving them loans and people signing contracts with their businesses because they are felons. The weird thing about this whole story is Trump nor his children, who all are, you know, employees of his business, none of them will go to jail for this. None of them are personally affected by this. This is all done to Trump organization, okay? Which is just mind-boggling to me. It seems like WISAP gets away with so much shit. It's just sort of like, it's the motherfucker's business, so what else we need to say here? Like, who was signing the damn checks? As a matter of fact, they said that there was a check that he was very much aware of that was a tuition payment for one of the executives' kids that he signed or signed off on or something like that. So it just seems like it's just... that motherfucker is the most slipperiest of snakes. They can never just quite catch him the way, I'm not sure if people are afraid of doing it or they just never, if he covers his tracks that well that, you know, he just gets away with it. He just gets away with it. However, New York is still hot on that ass. Okay. Still got this big ass $250 million civil suit going. This was a big victory for Manhattan. 17 counts, folks is going to jail. And of course, I think that it's important that even if WISAP is allowed to run for president again, all of these things add up to look really, really bad on his record. And I think that people have now realized that even if they did like WISAP, he is a huge liability. You see that the Republicans and the GOP are trying to divorced themselves from connecting, being connected to him. He is sort of like that motherfucker is holding on to the damn ankles of the Republicans, and they are so over it. Mitch McConnell and all them are so over it, but it's just really no way that they can just distance themselves enough. Okay, which is funny to me because they was all up that nigga's ass, but now that he is really just pulling. Now, if the midterm elections didn't get them to realize that he is a liability, I know something. And I believe that it did. And I think that that's why now they're all just sort of like, please leave us the fuck alone. Like, if he could come up with a new party, they probably would be happy. Okay. But he is still attached to the Republicans. He is still a liability. As these things continue to just pile up, I hope that means that the American people will not vote his ass back in the office. But like I said, the nigga slippery. So, you just don't never know how that's going to play out. But as of now, it's a victory for Manhattan, a victory for New York, the attorney general there, and the team. They got WISAP in their crosshairs. They want him, and they want his ass bad. All right, you guys, next story up. So this story about Deion Sanders. I'm not going to stay on it long. Coach Prime, Dion, whatever you want to call him. I was shocked, though, I must say, when news came out. Now, JSU had just won. I'm talking about had just won the championship game or whatever. And then a couple hours later, Deion Sanders was on a private plane to Colorado, and it was announced that he is now the head coach of Colorado University. It is a PWI, not no huge PWI, but just to let you know how even smaller PWIs have more money than even the biggest HBCU. Not that Jackson University was considered the biggest HBCU, but what I'm saying is Jackson was paying him salary, $300,000 a year. Colorado University salary, $5 million a year. Okay. Listen, y'all know I don't know shit about football. I don't really care like that. I was only shocked because when he went on to go to JSU, the whole talk was him bringing more attention to the HBCU experience and wanting the funding to go towards the football programs or the athletic programs in general. But of course, his concentration was with football. And he was just so outspoken about it, I was surprised. Now, like I said, I don't know shit about football, and I don't follow Coach Prime and all of that. So I didn't realize that he had already expressed that he had a plan in place, that he was going to go from HBCU to he wanted to go to be looked at, and be respected enough for these PWIs to hire him. And then, ultimately he wants to be a NFL coach, from what I understand. So, apparently he had already put out there the steps that he was going to take. And I guess we just didn't hear all of the other steps. All we heard was him saying that he wants to bring the focus in on HBCUs and, bringing more people that will come and coach at these universities, and things like that. And, attracting more talent to the programs and all of that. Deion Sanders was there for 2.5 years. So he definitely brought more attention to it. He definitely did what he said he was going to do. I just was surprised that, he moved on so quickly. But but listen, 300,000 and $5 million. I don't know too many people that would turn that down. Okay. And I know I wouldn't turn it down. It would have to really be a morally corrupt reason why I would turn something like that. Bitch, I mean, that's a lot of money to be turning down. And like I said, he did what he did. He's helped JSU win some championships, and he did bring more attention to it, and he did bring in the talent. My only concern is, now that he's left HBCU, is the interest going to continue for the HBCU? Okay. Yeah, it was all good. We was all interested when he was there, but now that he's gone, is that going to make other big name football stars decide to go and work at an HBCU? Or are these, football players and basketball players and baseball players and all these other players, are they going to still want to go to an HBCU now? I mean, he's not there anymore. So it was just sort of like you were the draw and now you're gone, So, I mean, you can argue it whichever way you want to. Some people have said, well, if he had the plan to leave in a couple of years, maybe he should have just never come in the first place. That he wasn't there long enough to affect any change, really. It wasn't about people wanting to come to the school because now we're looking at HBCUs. It was more about people are doing it because Deion Sanders is there. He's not there no more. Is the interest going to still be there? I mean, time will tell, okay? But, so that's where some critics, people are saying, oh, he just ran after the money and all. I know most of y'all probably wouldn't turn down no $5 million when you was getting $300,000 either. Okay, and they ain't got to deal with some of because I'm sure that there were issues. I mean, Mississippi, they're in the middle of this lawsuit. The money was, they didn't have clean water. He was trying to figure out how he was going to get his team taken care of. They didn't have money. The money was stolen by Brett Favre. Is that how you say his name? I can't never say it. Brett Favre. That story that's going on. I mean, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that's probably going on in Jackson. And he probably was just like, yeah, it's too much. It's enough. I'm out. Okay. Took him, his kids, everybody gone. Colorado. And apparently when he got to Colorado, he signed a big name. I didn't put the name on my iPad, so I don't know what the person's name is. But apparently he signed some big name football recruit, and life is going to go on. It's going to be interesting to see how his conversations in the locker room goes. We're going to have to change it up a little bit. But I think in general, the things that he was telling his football players, as black football players, I mean, a lot of those things will pertain to these white football players at Colorado University too. And we all know the athletic department, that mostly all of these universities going to have a good number of black kids on there still. But I just have a feeling they won't be playing too short. And, maybe not. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, what would you guys do? If you was getting, nigga, that's $4,700,000 more than you was. Do you know what kind of money that is to be turning down? Yes, money speaks. People can act like they, that they are above it all and all of that. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers got bills to pay. They got dreams for themselves and their families. And if you can help me get to that, sooner, then fine. And like I said, if it ain't hurting nobody, I mean, people are hurt about it, but he had to do what's best for him and his family. What would you guys do? Okay, what would you guys do if you was faced with these same decisions? Y'all let me know in the comments now, and really be truthful, because people can say all the time that you would, I wouldn't go, but I can tell you right now, Rocky would have been out. Ah, shit, I forgot. What you working at? I forgot to check and see if that was Lutelius on the damn TV. Y'all, I'm gonna have to rewind it, and I'll put a little note on the screen. Next story. This story is actually sad. I was watching Good Morning America this morning, and CelineDion had an announcement to make that she won't be performing any longer, not in the foreseeable future anyway. She's been diagnosed with a rare condition called SPS, also known as stiff person syndrome. Okay. It's defined by the Cleveland Clinic as, quote, a rare autoimmune movement disorder that affects the central nervous system, the brain, and spinal cord. People with this condition first experience a stiffening of the muscles of their trunk, followed over time by the development of stiffness and rigidity in the legs and other muscles in the body, end quote. Okay. And basically, she has severe muscle spasms, and I'm assuming, stiff person syndrome means that she is stiff and cannot sing, cannot use her vocal cords the way that she wants to, probably cannot walk, doesn't have the movement that you would have, if you didn't have this disorder. Apparently 1 person in a million people have it, and she has been affected by, this disorder. Super, super sad. Because even when she was talking, I wasn't sure if this was because of the disorder or just the fact that she was so upset, or it could have been a combination of the two. But she had to take many pauses as she was talking about the fact that she's going to have to cancel her European tour and the second leg of her North American tour because she just cannot do it. And you guys, if we know anything about CelineDion, she is 100 about her singing. That is what she does. You can tell that is something that she loves, performing on the stage and singing. And we've seen and heard CelineDion for years, and the powerhouse that she was. It's very, very sad to hear that something like this has happened to her. But yeah, you guys, apparently it's incurable. And I believe that it's degenerative. So it is a disorder that gets worse over time. She is very rich, so I'm sure she has the best doctors on the case. Yeah, you guys, just really, really sad. Just really, really sad. CelineDion is only 54 years old. And I think that if you guys have been watching CelineDion over the last few years, you did realize that something was wrong. She never did say what was wrong with her, but you could tell that she was going through some medical issues. She had lost a lot of weight. She still sounded very good, but you could just look at her and tell that there was something else going on. She said that she didn't want to announce that she had been ill until they knew exactly what the problem was. And I guess that they have been testing and doing all kind of things, just trying to diagnose her correctly, and they finally have. So now that's why she is finally coming out and saying that, that she does have this, the autoimmune disorder. And very, 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 very sad. It's crazy how this disorder would attack her when she's known. This is something that's going to prevent her from doing something that she is known to the world for, which is singing, So I know that this has got to be very difficult for her. She has, she still has kids, and we know that her husband died some years ago. So she's going to be going through this, and, with the support of her family and all. But just really, really, really sad, you guys. I hated to hear that about Celine. And hopefully that they can make some strides, bring more attention to the disorder and make some strides. And, hopefully she will perform again. But for right now, Miss Dion is saying that she is going to be taking a break and trying to get her health back on track. Hope you feel better soon, Miss CelineDion. All right, you guys, and then lastly in quickies, RSVP. That will be Ray J, Sammy, Bobby Valentino, and Pleasure P. Okay? You guys remember them. They were telling us that after that very successful / hilarious versus battle, the R&B singers, you guys remember the male R&B singers? Remember they came out and said that they were going to come out with an album, RSVP. Well, they have made it happen, you guys. That's right. They have released a song. The name of the song is Money Everywhere. And the song apparently is about role playing in the bedroom. Okay, I'm going to read some of the words to you real quickly. Girl, let's turn this bedroom to a strip club. There's money everywhere. There's money everywhere. I want you up and down and round this pole nice and slow. Okay? That's the chorus of the song. And I'm assuming, I haven't heard the song, but I'm assuming each one has their parts that they sing of the song. And I mean, good for them, I guess. Child, we didn't think it was really gonna happen considering Ray J and his drama that he got going on, and you know, all of them got their own little bit of taste of crazy, and then it didn't seem like Bobby Valentino had the patience to even be dealing with the rest of them. That Sammy is super duper petty, and Pleasure P just seems to be like a straight up asshole. Like, so it was weird that they were able to work it out, but they have made it happen because I know if Ray J is involved, Ray J is about getting to the money. And, you know, they can maybe make a few dollars off of this little stream. If I haven't heard the song, maybe if the song is good, you know, maybe, and they come out with an album, they do promise that an album is coming. And they say they will even give you visuals, a video for this. You know, right now they don't have the video, but the video is going to be coming soon. They promised that. But yeah, child, they made it happen. All right. And we have seen people try to make shit happen, you know, way more established and can't make it happen. So I think, you know, they deserve a good hand clap for just being able to, child, just being able to make this shit work. Okay. So we'll see. Have you guys heard the song though? What y'all think about it? Nia Long and child, I can't never say the man's name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. The coach from Boston Celtics, her fiance. They've been together 13 years. They have a child together. Well, honey, they have decided to call it quits. Okay. And we know that this has happened because of the scandal, the affair that Ime, whatever the hell his name is, was having with one of the front office ladies who also happened to be married to one of the big names in the Boston Celtics organization. And he got put on the chopping block, okay, for actions unbecoming of a coach. Okay, when the story came out, Nia Long had just moved to Boston and was in the process of trying to find a home to make her home there. And then we found out that he was messing with old girl. Okay, first there were stories that Nia was going to work it out with him, but I guess the pressure and all the shit that had happened, it was too much, and they have decided to call it quits. Nia Long actually was in the blogs just recently saying how she was disappointed with the Boston Celtics organization and how nobody took into consideration her family or her child when they released the information to the public that he was having this affair with this woman. And while I do feel very sorry for Nia Long and her child, nobody needs to be put on Front Street and be blasted like this when these things happen. While I do feel sorry for them, I mean, it's not really the Boston Celtics responsibility to even care about your family. Okay, that would be your fiance's responsibility. And if he didn't think enough of you to either give you a heads up that the story was coming or stop having the affair, then the Boston Celtics was like, baby, ain't nothing else we can do about it. Okay. He should have known that this was not only going to cost him his damn family, but it was going to cost him his job too. So, you know, the Boston Celtics was just like, I mean, we ain't in the business of calling the family and everything. He gonna have to work that shit out with y'all. Okay, himself. And I'm assuming that things ain't really been good in the Long Udoku or whatever his last name household. And yeah, now they have called it quits. So Nia Long is back on the market. So is he. They're both very good looking people. So I assume that they will be with somebody else, you know, soon enough, child. But yeah, that's a wrap on that. And lastly, you guys, congratulations are in order to the new 18-year-old mayor, Jalen Smith, in Arkansas. He is the new mayor of a city called Earl with just under 2,000 residents. Okay, he's a recent high school graduate, college freshman at Arkansas State University. And he decided that he wanted to run for mayor. And he won, you guys. He actually was running against the current mayor of the city, Nimi Matthews Sr. okay? And apparently Jalen had 239 votes and Nimi had 139 votes, okay? And so, yeah, he won, all right? And very good for him. Has aspirations, apparently was on the, you know, was part of the political team or whatever in his high school days, and decided that he wants to continue on his career. And that's why he ran for mayor. He said that he has, you know, public safety and transportation, and he wants to bring a big name grocery store to the town that he lives in, as apparently they don't have a grocery store in the town, so people that live there have to go to Memphis, Tennessee. I guess that's the closest next city to go and get groceries. So that is on his list of things to do, is to bring a grocery store, a big name grocery store into the city. But good for him. I'm sure that this kid has aspirations to go much further in politics, or maybe this will let him know if he wants to go further in politics. But yeah, I mean, you guys, the kids today, I will say, are so much more involved. I mean, some of them are and some aren't, but you know, there's definitely a pocket of kids today who, you know, want to get out and make a difference, who demonstrate, and, you know, who have these feelings and are involved and all of that. So it's great. That's what this new generation is great for. They will make shit happen. So he is definitely one of those ones. And congratulations to him. 18 years old, you guys, and the new mayor of Earl in Arkansas. Congratulations, Mr. Smith. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I just got a few minutes. Lunch is just about over. Fixing to make me something to eat real quick and get on back to work, okay? We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.